Hey everybody! Alright, so we're on to chapter 4 today. My Brother the Bird. Now we live near Central Park, and on nice days I like to play there after school. I'm allowed to walk over there by myself as long as I'm going to be there with friends. My mother doesn't want me hanging around in the park alone. For one thing, Jimmy Fargo has been mugged 3 times. Twice for his bicycle, and once for his money. Only he didn't have any money to give the muggers. I've never been mugged, but sooner or later, it'll probably happen. And my father's already told me what to do. Just give the muggers whatever they want, and try not to get hit on the head. Sometimes, after you're mugged, you get to go down to the police headquarters and look at a bunch of pictures of crooks to see if you can recognize the guys that mugged you. I think it would be kind of neat to look at all those pictures. It's not that I want to get mugged, because that would be really scary. It's just that Jimmy Fargo's always talking about his visit down to police headquarters. My father got mugged once in the subway by 2 girls and a guy. They took his wallet and his briefcase. He still travels around by subways, but my mother doesn't. She sticks to buses and to taxis. Both my mother and father are always warning me never talk to strangers in the park, because there are a lot of dope pushers that hang around in there. But taking dope is even dumber than smoking, so nobody's going to hook me. We live on the west side of the park, and if I want to go to the zoo and the pony carts, I have to walk all the way through to the east side. Sometimes my mother walks across the park with Fudge. He likes the animals a lot, especially the monkeys. He also likes the helium-filled balloons, but as soon as my mother buys him one, he lets it go. I think he likes to see it float way up in the sky. My mother says it's a waste of money and that she's not going to buy him any more balloons until he promises not to just let go. Well, on Sundays, the park is closed to all cars. No traffic, you see. You can ride your bicycle all over without being worried about being run down by some crazy driver. Even Fudge can ride. He has this little blue toddle bike, a present from my father's client. And when he's riding, he makes these motorcycle noises. Vroom, 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 he yells. In the fall, the leaves turn darker and drop off the trees. Sometimes there's a big leaf pile on the ground, and it's fun to jump around in them. Now, I never saw bright red and yellow and orange leaves until the day my father took us out for a drive in the country. The reason why leaves don't turn bright colors in New York City is air pollution. And that's too bad, because yellow and orange and red leaves, they look super neat. One nice sunny afternoon, I called for Jimmy Fargo, and we went to the park. Jimmy's the only kid on my block who's in my class. Unless you count Sheila, and I don't. She lives in my building on the 10th floor. Henry, the elevator operator, he's always making jokes about me and Sheila. He thinks we like each other. The truth is, I can't stand her. She's a real know-it-all, but I've discovered that most girls are. The worst thing about Sheila is she's always trying to touch me, and when she does, she yells, "Peter's got the cooties! Peter's got the cooties!" I mean, I don't even believe in cooties anymore. Maybe when I was in the 2nd grade, I used to examine myself to see if I had them, but I never found any. And by 4th grade, most kids have given up on the cooties, but not Sheila. She's still going strong, so I have to keep a safe distance from her. My mother, though, she thinks Sheila is the greatest. "Oh, she's so smart," my mother says, "and someday she's going to be a real beauty." Now that's the funniest, because Sheila, she looks a lot like those monkeys Fudge is so crazy about. So maybe she'll look beautiful to some ape, but never to me. Oh my heaven, what in the world was that? see if we can't get back to our book. Ads. Me and Jimmy have this special group of rocks where we like to play when we're in the park. We play secret agent up there, and Jimmy can imitate all kinds of foreign accents, probably because his father's a part-time actor. When he's not acting, he teaches at a city college. Today, when we got to our rocks, who would be perched up there? Yeah, Sheila. And she was pretending to read a book, but I think she was just waiting for me and Jimmy to find out what we were going to do when we found her on our own personal rocks. Hey, Sheila, I said, those are our rocks. Says who? Sheila asked. Come on, Sheila, Jimmy said, climbing up. You know me and Peter like to hang out here. Well, too bad for you, Sheila said. Oh, Sheila, I shouted. Go and find yourself another rock. I like this one, she said, as if she owned the park. So why don't you two go find another rock? Just then, who should come tearing down the path but Fudge? My mother was right behind him, hollering, Fudgy! Fudgy, wait for Mommy! But when Fudge gets going, he doesn't wait for anybody. And he was after some pigeons. Birdie! Birdie, birdie, birdie! Here, Birdie! He called. That brother of mine loves birds, but he can't get it through his head that the birds aren't about to let him just catch them. Hi, Mom, I called. My mother stopped running. Oh, Peter, am I glad to see you? I can't keep up with him. Fudge! Mrs. Hatcher! Mrs. Hatcher! Sheila called, scrambling down from the rocks. I could watch Fudge for you. I'll take very good care of him. Can I, Mrs. Hatcher? Oh, come on, can I? Please? Sheila was jumping up and down, begging some more. Jimmy gave me an elbow in the ribs. He thought that my mother would let Sheila watch Fudge, and then we would be rid of her, you see. Then we could play secret agent. But Jimmy didn't know that my mother would never trust Sheila with her dear little boy. Fudge, in the meantime, was screaming, Come back, birdies! Come back to Fudgy! Then my mother did a strange thing. She checked her watch and said, You know, I do have to run back to the apartment. I forgot to turn on the oven. Do you really think you could keep an eye on Fudge just for 10 minutes? Of course I can. Mrs. Hatcher, Sheila said. I know all about babysitting from my sister. And we'll stop there.